apparently, according to reports, according to Sal Palantonio of ESPN, Chris, looks like the Carolina Panthers are still in the running for DeAndre Hopkins. Who do we need to call, Chris? Who do we need to call to make this happen right now?
Well, I think right now it's going to be Scott Fitterer who's going to be the one making all the calls.
Scott, we know you're listening.
To see if that could happen.
Make it happen.
But no, yeah, that Sal Palantonio was on ESPN Radio earlier today. He said it's a possibility. Actually, let's just let you play what he said, and we can react to it after that.
Carolina's lurking. Cleveland is lurking for sure. But if I'm DeAndre Hopkins, do I want to go to Carolina with a rookie wide receiver? Do I want to go to Cleveland, or do I want to go to New England where I can be coached by Bill Belichick?
I might take Cleveland, actually.
No, Max, you're not going to take Cleveland.
So he said rookie wide receiver. He meant to say rookie quarterback in Bryce Young. But those are the choices right now. We thought that the Patriots deal was going to get done a while ago. Hasn't gotten done. So we don't know what's going on with that. Cleveland, I guess, for some people is maybe interesting. And then maybe the Carolinas is intriguing. I mean, people forget that D-Hop is from South Carolina. So, who knows? He possibly grew up watching the Carolina Panthers. But here's something that's very interesting, though, that I read on Twitter from Joseph Person. He's the Panthers reporter for The Athletic. Mm-hmm. And he says this on Twitter regarding DeAndre Hopkins: as long as Scott Fitterer is here, Panthers will always monitor free agents who might be a fit. But this team has more pressing needs at edge and cornerback. So while it is maybe a possibility and that Scott Fitterer is going to be in on every deal like he promised when he first came here, Joseph Person basically believes that unless something really sweet comes out of this deal and for the Panthers and DeAndre Hopkins, that they'll probably go after a cornerback and a defensive end / edge first before DeAndre Hopkins. But the fact that it's a possibility is definitely exciting. For sure.
Well, something sweet that would come out of the deal is you get DeAndre Hopkins. That's what's sweet that comes out of the deal, Chris.
If you get him for cheap as well, because he's probably going to want a little bit more money than the Panthers want to pay, and maybe a little bit longer term of a contract than maybe what the Panthers want to dish out right now.
For sure. I get the money aspect of it. We're looking at, again, $27 million in cap right now. Okay, $27 million in cap right now. You could probably front load that deal so you get a lot of cap hit early in that contract, and you can still have the years tacked on that you need to. And I'm telling you, Chris, this completely changes the outlook of that wide receiver core and the skill position, because everyone else's role on offense is going to change a little bit. As opposed to Adam Thielen being your de facto number one, you can go to being your number two. It's a lot less pressure on Terrace Marshall Jr. or Jonathan Mingo. We saw DJ Chark have another ankle surgery not too long ago, so we don't even know if he's actually really going to be ready to go come the start of the season. So you take a lot of pressure off some of your younger guys that you have at wide receiver because you have that number one threat out there. Again, that can change everyone else's role. You definitely need help at corner with Dante Jackson coming off the Achilles injury. J.C. Horn, you just don't know about his health. You just don't, especially having injured his foot and ankle again this offseason. So, questions at corner. Someone opposite of Brian Burns, those are also question marks as well. But that number one threat at receiver is also a major question mark. And if you can get Hopkins, make it happen. Scott Fitterer, absolutely. I know you're listening. Scott.
DJ, just going back to what you said, DJ Chark participated last week of OTAs and in minicamp, and he'll be ready for the start of the season. He'll be fully healthy, and he's fully healthy now, and he came back. But no, I agree with you on all of that. I am of the belief that maybe the Panthers already have the number one on their roster, but that number one hasn't had a chance to blossom yet. But what a great opportunity for them to bring in somebody who already is a number one, because that might take a year or two for that number one to blossom, right? So you may not get immediate returns in week one, and this is a franchise where the fans want the team to win now. They've been mired in mediocrity basically since the middle of 2018 when Cam Newton was injured at the Pittsburgh Steelers on that Thursday night. That is just such a memorable night for a lot of Panthers fans. So I'm with you. If you can make it happen, make it happen. But don't make it happen at the expense of re-signing key players like Brian Burns or maybe even a Frankie Louvu or whoever else that you need to eventually bring in to fill in some spots for some other players.
They can make it happen. They can make it happen. They can make it happen. I promise you, they can make it happen. All right. We'll dive more into the Carolina Panthers a little bit later on, but again, hearing that as a possibility is pretty awesome.